Racist. This is God's land, and it was given to God's people. And the whole purpose of all this is so they can try to destiny swap with us, and it's not gonna work. Okay. Welcome back to class. Today's lesson will kick off Aboriginal April. I had some hot piping tea that spilled on my desk while I was doing some reading, and I came across a Frederick Douglass quote that made me look into his ancestry. And what I found was not shocking, but still amazing, especially since it came directly from his autobiography. It was titled Narrative of the Life, written in 1845. In his autobiography, Douglass stated that it is nevertheless plain that a very different looking class of people are springing up at the South and are now held in slavery from those originally brought to this country from Africa. In his own words, Douglass stated that the original American people were enslaved by Africans. He was also very specific and very proud of his American heritage and citizenship. He made it very clear in his autobiography, stating that by birth, we are American citizens. By the principles of the Declaration of Independence, we are American citizens. By the courage and fidelity displayed by our ancestors in defending the liberties and in achieving the independence of our land, we are American citizens. The native land of the American Negro is America. His bones, his sinews, his flesh, and his blood are here. And just in case you didn't know what a sinew was, like myself, here's that definition. These are all the things that only an indigenous person would say. Why would an African call this country their land? This further points out that the colonizers were in fact the illiterate idiots that came from Africa that were unable to read and write. Never forgetting that these are the only people documented to come to this land on ships. There's even a book that details this information, and it points out how the first slaves were white. They were sent to this country as punishment by the British. And the historical nuance here is what we understood to be the European colonizers in the 1600s were actually Africans of European descent who arrived much later than 1619. Therefore, the people who came from Africa and colonized America are largely those of European ancestry that relocated from former African colonies. And they were not indigenous African populations, nor were they the actual Europeans from Spain like the lies suggest. So talk about a destiny swap. The real true African Americans are white people. And Douglass wasn't one of them, nor were his parents. His mother, Harriet Bailey, was born in Talbot County, Maryland at the Skinner Plantation. Her parents, Isaac and Betsy Bailey, were born free in Maryland and owned a plantation. They never came over on boats, and they had zero African ancestry. So we're back to asking those tough questions. If Black Americans aren't the descendants of Africans, then who are the people who are? Oh, that's right. You're hiding them. Because they got to be the whites who are pretending to be Native Americans. Now you know why there's an interest in labeling Black Americans as Africans. And anyone with copper skin who is considered to have Native ancestry is automatically reclassified as Afro-Indigenous or associated with African ancestry. That's another reclassification game to hide the true African Americans, which is exactly how destiny swaps work. They take what's yours, they lie to you about it, and then they pretend it's their destiny. And one thing about destinies that you can never take away is the fact that they come with birthrights. And there's only one group in this entire country that has birthrights. And it's not whites, natives, Latinos, Asians, or Africans. It's the Aboriginal Americans that were reclassified as Black people. Well, thanks for watching. See you next time. All right, racists. This is God's.
Shalom. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of the great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is on flocking. Today's video is on Isaiah chapter 47, verse 2. You see the promo video that I just showed you at the beginning of this. You know, as you see, Esau is Edom. He's being exposed. Everything is being showed. Everybody is being aware of what this red devil is doing. You can't hide it from the people anymore. All his lies is being, revealed. Everybody is seeing what he's been doing. It's been nothing more than a lie all this time. He done went through through centuries of lying and falsifying and going through great lengths to lie, and spending trillions and trillions of dollars just to lie. No matter what he say, he cannot hold on to his lives, because the truth shall be revealed. And it's being revealed now. We bringing it out. Us fanners. Those of us that are of the Lord, doing the Lord's will, are pushing the truth, making it clear, bringing out the word and the truth of the word. And that's what's being brought out against this red devil as a standard, being lifted up against the enemy. Okay? When the enemy thought it was going to come on in like a flood, nope. Yahweh Shai lifts up a standard against the enemy. You see? To defeat the enemy and to throw the enemy down and destroy the enemy. So we're going to get off into this. This is Isaiah chapter 47, starting at verse 2. And it reads, take the millstones and grind meal. Right. That means get busy, get busy at the work of the Lord. Make sure that's what's done. And that's what you make sure that you're doing and occupying yourself with the word until the Lord return. Uncover the locks. Bring out the truth. Bring out the truth against all these lies that Edom has concocted, from his mouth. False doctrines, false fornications, false beliefs, false philosophies, all this mess, pseudoscience, pseudo math, pseudo everything. It's all being revealed. You see, it's being uncovered. You see, bring out that truth. Make bare the legs. You know what I'm saying? Make bare what this red devil's been using to get around and to bring forth falsehood in the world as he been doing. Just walking around, spreading just evil and wickedness, all around. Being deceptive, being Diablos, the devil. You know what I'm saying? Doing what he is his lot to do. Make bare the leg, uncover the thigh. You see, make it clear. You see the bareness of this red devil. Esau is Edom. You see, pass over the rivers. You see, going into and seeing exactly what the people are experiencing and going through, dealing with this red devil. And thy wickedness shall be uncovered. You see, yea, and thy shame shall be seen. You see, no matter what he does to hide the truth from the people know. The people can clearly see now. You can't hide it no more, Esau. It's being made bare. And no matter what you try to do, we all see you. We see you. You know what I'm saying? Like straight peekaboo. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. You see? That's the Lord, Yahweh Shai. That's him talking. He making it clear. You know what I'm saying? Who shall be but beaten down to powder in the presence of the Lord? You see? Flat out. You see? And he coming to devastate and to destroy all the strongholds, you see, of this red devil Esau is Edom. Just wait. Just wait till when the time comes when Yahweh shall show up with all the angels, you see, from the kingdom of heaven. As for our Redeemer, that's the Lord of hosts, and his angels is his name, okay? Yahweh Shai, the Holy One of Israel, not the whole world. And we were named Israel as a people before the place. You see? So he's our Lord. You see? Our God. You see what I'm saying? Our Redeemer. You see? That we're looking forward to coming and delivering us from the perils of this red devil. You see? And sit thou silent and get thee into darkness. You see? O daughter of the Chaldees, you see? Because it's time for this world to finally accept the fact that this fat heifer, Babylon, America, has reached its end. And they can no longer go on steady making their monies and steady sucking on the tits of this fat heifer, this cow, okay, the milk is run dry. The milk and dry, and good old boys was singing, drinking whiskey and wine, singing, "This will be the day that they die." You know what I'm saying? You see? Because that's what that is. You know what I'm saying? Remember that song? Remember that song? And bye bye, Miss American Pie. I drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And good old boys were drinking whiskey and wine. What were they singing? This will be the day that they die. You see? It's over. And the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms. Right? Because this great whore, that's all she is. The great whore. America is a great whore. You see? That sits on the great beast. Okay? NATO and all the other countries that's in alliance with NATO. Well, now they're all turning against the great whore. It's time to cast her off and cast her down. Verse 6, I was wroth with my people. Okay, only for a moment. Because we were disobedient, the Lord scattered us, amongst the rest of the world where we laid seed. Okay, we got all these Gentile foreigners. Okay, and those that look like the other nations of people, but they're not. Israel is like a speckled bird. Okay. And so we're looking forward to many of our people looking like the other nations, but they're not of the other nations. They are Israelites. Okay. I have polluted, you see, mine inheritance, you see. And the Lord realizes this. But the Lord is faithful. He's faithful because the prophecies is playing out and giving them into thine hand. Right. We were given into the hands of Esau as Edom. Okay. But only for a time. It was not to be, forever. Okay, it was only to be for a time, and he was not supposed to be, so harsh with us as Esau, as Edom has been. No, he wasn't, but he has. Okay, thou didst show them no mercy. No, he didn't. No, the cruel, wicked things that he has done to us, how he slaughtered us, how he ate us. They didn't eat no turkey for Thanksgiving. They ate us. We was always on the menu. We're still on the menu now. They got cookbooks on how to cook the delectable Negro. Okay? These things were done, and it's being done now. All of the many different people being ate right now at these fast food restaurants in the form of burgers and breakfast sausages. You see? And so when society shut down, it's not going to be so hard for people to go back to cannibalism. The Bible says so. Our people are going to go back into cannibalism. They're going to be hungry. Okay? Lamentation chapter 2, they're going to be hungry. Ezekiel 5, 7, and 11. Okay? Deuteronomy chapter 28. I think started in verses starting in the 40s. Okay? Our people are going to go back to cannibalism. Leviticus chapter 26. Okay? Our people are going to go back into cannibalism because they're going to be hungry. Okay? And they're not going to know what to do. The story of the woman, those two women, and how one woman asked the other woman, hey, how about if we cook your son now? And we'll cook. No, yeah. We'll cook. She said, let's cook her son now, and then we'll cook the other woman's son tomorrow, the next day. So they ate the first woman's son, okay? Cooked and ate that one, ate him. But the next day came, the other woman, she hid her son. She didn't want her son to be ate. You know what I'm saying? These things are going to be happening. You see, upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Upon the oath, upon us. You see, verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. This is the vain thing of a woman, these women living in their flesh. The Bible tells a woman that lives in her flesh is dead yet while she lives. And of this great whore, America, she's been living amongst the nations as the great queen. Okay, remember the word queen is an English word. Edom invented the English word out of the Greek word queon. Okay, and in the Greek, the word queon means whore. And so this great queen, this whore, America, Babylon, okay, the time has come for her to be slaughtered. This fat cow. See, and so that thou doest not lay these things to thy heart. Okay, okay. Because why? The time has come. The time has come. Neither did remember the latter and end of it. No. You see? Because the only thing that people has been focusing on is being able to be as wicked as they want to be here in Babylon, doing whatever, however. You see. But there's a judgment. There's a judgment. Verse 8. Therefore, hear now this. Okay. This is the Lord speaking. And he says, thou that art given to pleasures that dwelleth carelessly. You got a lot of people that are. That says in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. You got a lot of people that's like that. They're concentrated on themselves only, and they don't care about you or what you think or what your beliefs, or they don't care about the Lord. For Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. The Lord compares our people to a dumb ox and a mule. They don't even consider the Lord. They don't. You know, because our people are too busy going a horn to serve false gods. And so they said no. And they got all this high stature. They have monies in the bank. They can go ride off and go do what they want to do. They got all this arrogancy and pride. The Lord, Isaiah chapter 13, the Lord said he's going to remove the arrogancy off the face of the proud. You see, that's coming. Watch when the famine coming and it ain't no food. Watch how you going to see a whole lot of people become humbled when they ain't got no food. And a lot of people become aggressive when they ain't got no food to eat. I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow. You see? And that's what they truly believe. A lot of people believe this. But the time is coming when their very foundation of them believing in these lies and that they concocted unto themselves in their own head is dissipates right before their very eyes. Neither shall I know the loss of children. And a lot of people, a lot of women are going to lose their children because the Bible tells us that in the war, they do get children. Who gets children? The child molesters. All those that are on Epstein's Islands list. Okay. You'll find that there, them there, their name there. Okay. And how they dumped bodies, children's bodies in dissolve the body so it can't be found. Verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. Okay? The Lord says, listen up. What the Lord says, the loss of children, right? Because that's what it is. The children shall be taken, and that's a gift of the Lord, been taken away. And widowhood. You see? All this going to be stripped away from them. They're going to be sitting booty butt naked in the dust of the earth in confusion. Flat out. And they shall come upon thee in their perfection. That means with strength. For the multitude of thy sorrows. And for the great abundance of thine enchantments. You see? For all your life. For all your life. Comes the truth. We can read the last one and close it out. Verse 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. And many people do. They trust in their wickedness and the wicked evil things behind every door, like I say, behind every door, on every house, on every block, behind every door. It's a different world in every house. You'd be surprised at the level of wickedness that's going on, how people are being raised. That's the reason why people behave the tripped out way that they do. Thou hast said, none seeth me. You see? Because they behind closed doors. So they say none seeth them. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee. You see? Because people have tricked themselves in their mind into believing in their own false doctrines of what they believe in their head. The Bible tells us a man's way of what seems right to him, it it may will not, roughly paraphrasing, Salaki. It just seems right to him, but it's not. And thou hast said in thine heart, you see, in thy own heart, I am and none else beside. You see? So the Lord makes it clear, verse 11, therefore, shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt know not from whence it riseth. So the Edomites, 2/3, and the heathens, they can look forward to this great devastation being found and thrust through. You see, being blasted into human dust by the direct energy beams that's going to be levied out and blasted at them. Okay, from their chariots. Okay. And from the laser weapons that Edom has when he comes through the neighborhoods. Watch when they declare martial law and start rounding up all the young men aged 18 through 42 for the draft. Wait till the devastation when that comes. Okay. And mischief shall fall upon thee. You see? From every angle. All kinds of mischiefs of different things. The bull crap's gonna be happening. And you're gonna be wondering what's going on. It's the Lord. That's what it is. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. You see? That means you won't be able to just shake it off, brush it off. Like right now, people, they just change the channel when they don't want to be bothered with a video or something or whatever. But what about when the reality is directly in your face? You can't change the channel then. You can't put it off. You can't. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly. You see? Flat out. People gonna find themselves where they were in a good case in one moment, then gonna be in a pitiful case in the next. You see, just like that, suddenly. You see, which thou shalt not know. You see, stand now with thy enchantments. The Lord says. You know what I'm saying? Now talk your mess. Now talk your. You understand? Talk your stuff. And with the multitude of thy sorceries, you see, all the things that you were doing, you thought you were slick, you're scamming, you're scheming, you see. Now look. Now look. Can't do none of that now. Wherein thou hast labored, you see, from thy youth, you see. Since you was a young man, young woman, you was out there playing them games, doing them things. Now you done got old. And the game is still the same, different faces. But now the Lord is tearing up the whole board game. It's all over with now. If so, be thou shalt be able, shalt be able to profit. You see, no, they can't profit. They can't get no salvation from none of the scams because they wasn't storing up any treasures in the kingdom. All their treasures were right here on earth where men could plunder in and do things and this, that, and the other. You see, if not, the angels watch. If so, be thou mayest prevail. You see, and they can't. They can't. Thou art weary in multitude of thy counsels. That means all your lies that you don't sit up in all your meetings. Y'all don't even want to come to your own meetings because it's not going to lead to anything, and you know it. Let now the astrologers and strategers, stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee, okay? Because that's what's coming. That's what's coming. And no matter what you do, you cannot vote these calamities away. You cannot sit in these things away, pray these away, and none of it, because it's the Lord that's bringing them upon you, flat out. Let's read this and close it out. Verse 14, behold, and they shall be as stubble. You see? Stubble. That means the wicked shall be as stubble, and the word and the will of the Lord, the fire shall burn them. You see? That's the Lord. They shall not deliver themselves. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. You see? Because it's going to be the Lord's judgment upon them. That's what time it is. It's going to be the Lord's judgment. There shall not be a coal to warm at. You see? Let not thy flight be during the winter, because this winter is the winter where everything's going to be shut down, shut off. Society collapse. It's going to be this winter. Nor fire to set before it. You see? You see? You see? So we can read this last one and close it out. This 15. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored. You see? From all this time. Even thy merchants from thy youth. You see? They shall wander everyone to his quarters. None shall save thee. You see? Flat out. Now that's what's coming. That's what you can look for. That's the will of the Lord. You see? That's what's coming. None shall be able to save thee. Here it is. Esau is Edom. Out of all the things that he has done, this wicked kingdom is being thrown down. The Lord said, Malachi chapter 1 and 1, they shall build, but I shall throw down. You see? That's Almighty Yahweh. The made it clear. Esau as Edom has reached his boundary lines. This year, 2026, marked 250 years of America being in existence, having a military, having teeth, being able to go around to all the other nations and controlling and colonizing and robbing, raping, and pillaging from every nation, tongue, and peoples and kindreds. You see? So the time has come to put a stop to this red devil. Okay? You see? So Lord's will, you were edified by today's video, okay? This video was to motivate you, inspire you, edify you, to put together some precepts that you would make an edifying video, motivating, inspiring video to feed the sheep. Because remember, as good shepherds of the Lord, as always, our job is to feed the sheep. So brothers and sisters, hold on, stay strong, we ain't got long. Okay? Yeah, keep yourself occupied in the word till Yahweh Shai's return. Remember to stay mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, spiritually, circumspect. And so be aware of what's going on around you and who's around you. And because spirits move from people to people to places to places. Okay? And so maintain your focus in the word and always have your armor of the word of the Lord upon you every time you go out and wherever you go. Okay? Maintain that. And always self-reevaluate. That's important. That's how we grow, right? And part of our pruning that the Lord does. Remember, Yahweh is the one that planted us. Didn't nobody else plant us. Yahweh did. So let not no man take thy crown. Okay? Revelation chapter 3 and 10. Okay? Hold fast to thy crown. Okay? Hold fast. So we can go ahead and close it out. But I give all praise and all honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of the great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace and salutation to the hope of the elect. Shalom to the hope of the elect.